I gotta unmute myself. That's a good start. And I'm gonna quickly do the Blue Sky post. Okay. Hopping back on Twitch to watch and react to the Black Voices in Gaming Showcase 2025. Join me as we hang out and see more cool, interesting game trailers. And I'm gonna put the Twitch in, and I'll say hello to everyone in a moment. That's posted. Hello, everyone. I've had my quick bit of food. Is there an announced length for this? That would be useful for work planning purposes. Black Voices in Gaming Showcase length. Did this already air a day early on GameSpot? I'm seeing an hour and a half. I'm seeing an hour and a half long showcase posted 20 hours ago on GameSpot. On GameSpot trailers? Did they just misname something? Nope. No, that's just the stream that is live now. YouTube, why does your preview say that's an hour, 29 minutes, 32 seconds? Unless you know something in advance? Google, do you know the length of this? Maybe. Okay, hour and a half is manageable. Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Phew. I am sneezy. And I'm exhausted. It's been a long few days. But I think this is the last of these game showcases for a bit. Apologies that I didn't come on early and do the Frosty Games one. I will try and get that done this week still. My day got away from me trying to get my my Switch 2 review written up, like the big Switch 2 review video. Took longer than I hoped it would. But there is another of these showcases on Thursday, a Konami let's have a look at Silent Hill F and Metal Gear Solid Delta show. So I'm gonna tune into that, and I might try and do the Frosty showcase before that. How is everyone doing? This is one of the showcases I do tend to look forward to each year. I'm glad for this one. I'm far more in the mood to watch this than I am to watch the PC gaming show, for example. I'm so surprised that Persona 4 Remake is coming to the PS5. Why are you surprised by that? Persona games have historically been primarily PlayStation games. I am unsurprised. Like, I don't see any reason in the world why they wouldn't. Like, Xbox would have to pay a hell of a lot of money to get a Persona Remake as an exclusive. Because, like, Japanese gamers really don't buy Xboxes. So I gotta get Steam up so I can... Hey, Tanya! How you doing? I gotta get my Steam up ready so I can start wishlisting stuff again. Yeah, regarding the Persona 4 Remake, I fully expect that's probably gonna get announced for Switch 2. I hadn't even heard of this showcase. Yeah, this is... Every year they do this one. It tends to be one of the more You'll get developer interviews on camera alongside gameplay. It's not one of the ones that's like trailer. It's like, you know, we'll chat for a couple of minutes with people making the games. Usually I'd expect this to run for like an hour, and then probably half an hour at the end that's like extended looks at gameplay from some of them. But yeah, I found some really good games in this in years past. So as tired of trailers as I am by this point in the weekend, I'm like, I gotta be here for this one. Pika says, along with Persona 3 Reload on the Switch too. Yeah, it's... The complete absence of Nintendo trailers in any of the Xbox stuff yesterday does lead me to suspect that we're probably getting a third-party Switch 2 Direct not far from now, and Nintendo wants to announce that stuff there. Damn, I would have co-streamed this, but I just got in not ready for another co-stream. Yeah, it's... I had a couple of those. I had one this... I've been trying to do as many of these this weekend as I can, just to be like, hey, if you want to hang out somewhere with a nice chill chat, and, you know, I want to see all these trailers just so I can wishlist stuff that looks interesting. There's at least one that I realized was happening like 10 minutes before it happened at the weekend. I think it was the Horror Game Showcase. I was like... Nah, I'm not getting myself co-stream ready in 10 minutes. That one can wait. Andy H says, saw the end of the Xbox showcase. The big one more thing announcement was Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Yep, they sure did end on one more thing is, surprise, we still make Call of Duty. We haven't given up on making Call of Duty yet. Yeah, I want to remind myself, what games did we see from this last year? Black Voices in Gaming 2024. All of these showcases run together in my head. I remember feeling really positive about this last year. Summer Edition 2024. Summer reveals. Give me a reminder. Which ones were last year? I want to see which ones might be getting release dates this time. No, I can't find any good recap posts. Cool. Let me just pull up the 2024. Oh, the Final Fantasy Secret Lair set. Yeah, I have seen some people nervously opening their wallets, going like, yeah, I'm about to do this, am I? It does. That Secret Lair stuff is always beautiful. Right, remind myself, what did we see last year? Come on, stop giving me adverts, YouTube. Last year, we saw... I'm gonna skim through... There was a Studio Ghibli-looking third-person co-op platformer that looked pretty good. You know what? We've got 7 minutes. Give me a sec. I can pull some of last year's trailers up while we're actually, yeah. Let me. Can I? Aha. Let's scroll this way. I want to find some of the trailers from last year. Althea, the Wrath of Aferi. Yeah, this had a really nice art style to it. I believe it was co-op from what I remember. Big focus on platforming and sword combat. There was... What other ones? We'll skim through. Oh, Slime Heroes was here last year. Of course it was, yeah. I need to get back to Slime Heroes. Slime Heroes, I believe, is out now. I really enjoyed the demo for it, and it is on my list of ones I really need to come back to. I probably need to turn the volume of the game music down in a second. What are we having? Slime Heroes. The Jay and Silent Bob game was here last year, the beat 'em up. The Jay and Silent Bob beat 'em up. There was... Polygunner. Oh, yeah. El Paso elsewhere. Strange Scaffold have been on a really, really good run of games recently. I continue to, anything Strange Scaffold has put out has been fucking great this past year. Oh, Life Eater, again, Strange Scaffold. Strange Scaffold have been absolute run of classics. What was the recent one? Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3? Yeah, there we go. We got a couple of minutes. But yeah, there was some good stuff last year. Pika, yes, there's a Pokemon Direct in, like, July, I think. It's about 6 weeks away. Yeah, let me turn down the background music a little. Can you tell I'm unprepared for streaming today? Yeah, who's your friend you spotted in the video? Yeah, I might be wrong. I think it's mid to late July for Pokemon, but I suspect there's going to be a third, like a partner showcase or something sooner than that. Oh, Onsen Master, yes. Onsen Master, I think, was here the last 2 years running. It was their 2023, like, they closed the show on Onsen Master in 2023. It came back around in 2024, I think. That is one of the ones I definitely remember has been here a couple of years running in this show. Pokemon Presents is July 22nd. Yeah, that sounds correct to me. Talis, so I would assume you'd written it down correctly. Oh, sorry, this is reminding me of people's games I need to check out. Strange Scaffold, I think, came out with a licensed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game in the last month or so, and I completely forgot to check it out. I need to confirm that I'm not speaking out my arse here. Strange Scaffold, TMNT, is that right? Oh, yeah, Tactical Takedown. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown. Yeah, it's the sort of top-down grid-based strategy. Oh, and it looks like they're little tabletop figurines. Yes. It's reviewed well, which shouldn't surprise me. Everything they put out I've vibed with. Dika says, I wonder if Cyberpunk will run well on Switch 2. I've been playing it on Switch 2, so I can speak to that effect. In docked mode, if you've got a 120Hz monitor or one that can neatly do 40Hz, there's a 40Hz mode. 40Hz mode is pretty solid. The default mode, graphics mode, is 30 FPS, and it keeps that locked pretty well. It's a little wobbly occasionally on the Phantom Liberty content, the DLC stuff that was added later. It occasionally drops a frame here and there, but it holds 30 pretty well. I'm surprised at how good it looks and how solidly it can keep 30. It is a better experience on a handheld than the PS4 version was when it released, which is admirable. 2 minutes to go, nearly time. Give me 1 second. I am moving my monitor around, so give me 1 second. And I can... Sorry. Aha! I am back. Okay, do we know anything from the setup for this one? No teasers for who to expect this year. And no length confirmation. Again, I would expect probably an hour and a half, would be my guess. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, that I did think this was going to be our last one of these first Summer Games Fest season. I was ready to have my foot out the door and be running. There is a Konami one of these for Metal Gear Solid Delta and Silent Hill F on Thursday, and I'm going to try and take a look at the Australia and New Zealand Frosty Games Showcase at the same time. Pika says, it's weird that Xbox has a handheld when there's a Switch 1 and Switch 2 and also a Steam Deck. I don't think it's weird. I think that there's very clearly a market for portable handheld gaming, and the tech is catching up to a point where that's relatively affordable and performant, and that Microsoft would like a slice of that. Although to call it an Xbox handheld seems a little in that it's largely a slightly souped up ROG Ally with an Xbox logo on it, from what we can tell. It seems like it's a ROG Ally where you can maybe turn off some of the Windows functionality and maybe run it in a reduced Windows. But the fact they're positioning it as an Xbox handheld, you're already getting people confused, going, why won't it run 360, Xbox One, Xbox 360, regular Xbox games? Because it's not an Xbox, it's a PC. It's some very confusing co-branding.
What is happening? I'm ICJ, also known as Justin Woodward, co-founder of BVIG, Black Voice in Gaming, and The Mix. It is my honor and pleasure to chop it up with y'all and introduce the Black Voice in Gaming Showcase Summer Game
Cookie
Fest
Cutter
edition.
looked gorgeous.
If you have seen the show before, you already know that our mission is to amplify Black voices at the intersection of gaming and culture. If you have not seen the show before, all you need to know is you are about to enjoy
more showcases have subtitles,
art, music,
please.
Stories, and of course, video games being made.
I really need you to put subtitles in your streams.
Black Voice in Gaming is an
If I can do it, so
experienced
can you.
nonprofit
Other live
organization
streams.
that exists because as Black creatives continue to be underrepresented in the video game industry, it is essential to cultivate these creatives so that they can contribute their fresh perspectives, which are the lifeblood of innovation in the art form. BVIG programs open the door for developers to attend conferences such as GDC and DICE, get funding through the Experience program, and help provide a platform for their exceptional contributions to the video games that we all love. We can't say it enough, but thanks to all of our sponsors
I love the
who have
black on
supported
black
us
on
over
the
years
baseball
and make
cap.
these events possible.
Looks lovely.
PlayStation, Humble Bundle, and Raw Fury, who have all given their support from the start. The Mix,
Pika,
Razer,
I will definitely
and
be streaming the
Summer
Pokemon
Game
Direct, yeah.
Thanks to our broadcast partners for the showcase,
Also,
again, Summer Game
Raw
Fest,
Fury have really
Twitch,
sponsored
IGN,
a lot of
GameSpot,
showcases
and
this
Steam.
year.
They help extend the reach of this show in ways that would otherwise be impossible. We owe them a debt of gratitude as well, so thank you all. If you would like to join them in supporting BVIG, please follow this QR code.
That's something
on
I need to
screen
try and do next year, is try and get IGN and
Experience is the
GameSpot
nonprofit
to include
that
me in their
operates the BVIG programs, and
restream my
everything
things on
helps.
their channels. That
All
would be
proceeds go to the efforts I described briefly, and more
worth
information is
pushing
on the
for.
website. Today's showcase has a prime blend of games,
hey,
developer interviews, music, and hype. So let's get it started as I pass off the mic to our hosts, Derek and Destiny, who are going to get things popping.
Thanks, Justin. My name is Derek Fields, and let's just say I do a handful of things, but game development is at the center of it all. Kicking it with my favorite people and checking out exciting games are the only things that I care about. So doing it in a way that helps to boost the voices of creators that look like me, let alone for Summer Games Fest, is one heck of a way to celebrate these achievements. Now, speaking of favorite people, I'm joined by one of the coolest co-hosts that I know. What's up, Des?
Hey, have you ever met someone who's always got a project cooking?
Oh, that hoodie design is great.
Whether I'm running Games for Games or I get to partner up with Black Voices in Games.
Games for Games, yes.
Games Fest, I'm focused on building spaces that feel like home in the industry. But before we kick off our first interview, our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spotlights with these incredible developers, I want to take a moment to show love to the community that's supported us from the start. You all are the reason we are here. Black Voices in Gaming has grown.
I'm gonna do my best to keep the audios balanced.
A powerful movement, a nonprofit creating real opportunities. From funding the membership to building lasting industry connections. They're doing the work.
No worries. I always enjoy streaming the Black Voices in Gaming stream.
So
it's one of my favorite showcases that comes up in the Summer Games Fest season.
We have them sit at the tables and we help them succeed. We're starting off strong, and the guest lineup speaks for itself. So, Derek, are you ready to get into it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's jump in.
Go on. First game.
Let's jump in.
Ooh. Oh. Okay, okay. Oh. I was gonna say, okay, game about environmental is... There's been like 3 or 4 points in this trailer already where I've thought I have a pretty solid vibe on what kind of game it's going to be.
Hello everyone, welcome to Ayasa Shadows of Silence, a journey into a world where mystery, horror and puzzles intertwine in an incredible way. Picture yourself exploring 6 distinct worlds: faith, hope, love, greed, indifference and betrayal, each with its own wonders and challenges.
Okay, so I'm getting like
In this
real
game,
big
you'll
sort of
embark on a quest to restore balance to a troubled world.
limbo vibes.
Inspired by the imaginative works of artists like Tim Burton, Robert Zemeckis, René Laloux, and many more, our game blends dark fantasy with simple elegance, transforming every level into a
I
vibrant
love the
story waiting to
designs
be
of
uncovered.
these creatures.
Prepare for gameplay that's both challenging and rewarding. Utilize special abilities such as time management, invisibility,
Tanya being
and
here
energy
maybe is
control
why
to
why
solve
why it
intricate
got
puzzles
recommended.
and outsmart lurking dangers.
Yeah,
Discover
I love the
hidden
design of
paths
these
using
creatures.
a
They're not
light
quite
and strategically
zombies.
Navigate shadows to overcome obstacles in your path.
They're very reminiscent of like it feels like the kind of design
Ayasa
you'd see in
Shadows of
something like
Silence
No
is
More
than
Heroes
just a game.
for
It's an
a
emotional adventure. As
background
you explore,
enemy.
you'll uncover secrets, meet
Like slightly
unforgettable
alien,
characters,
slightly
and think
zombie,
deeply
slightly
about big
mannequin.
ideas. Your choices will shape the story, revealing surprises and new journeys at every turn.
Oh, I love
In the
being
world
chased
where
by a
every
thing that's
shadow
just
hides a
slightly
secret
out
waiting
of
to be
shot. Like
uncovered,
you can
and
see the
every
effect
light
it's having
illuminates a
chasing
new
you,
path
but not
forward.
it chasing
The
you.
fate of Ayasa rests in your hands, where each decision leads to new discoveries and adventures. Get ready for an unforgettable journey. Thank you for watching.
Hey everyone, my name is Mikhail and I'm one of the founders of Caldera Interactive. We're a 3-person team from Canada working on our first game, The Rabbit Hall, a cozy farming and tower defense game where you play as a cute bunny that must defeat the Trash Panda posse to rebuild your home. We've been hard at work on The Rabbit
Art
Hall for a
style and
little under
bunnies,
2
you've already
years.
got me on
We're all new
board.
to the industry, so it's been a daunting
What's this
journey.
one called? The Rabbit
But over
Hole?
that time, we've had the chance to pitch our game in front of publishers and crowds, even winning the GDC pitch competition.
The Rabbit Hole.
We've also had the incredible opportunity to show off early builds of our game at Gamescom and ran multiple playtests with our community where we've received amazing feedback to help us improve our game at a rapid pace.
I have that wish
Despite
listed
being so
already.
new
This
to the
looks
industry,
adorable.
we've been so lucky to have had many mentors and communities in our corner along the way, and we strive to make sure to do the same and to be the help we wish we had had as we got our game to where it is. On that note, a special shout out to Black Voices in Gaming for having us on this showcase to talk about our game. In The Rabbit Hall, you play as a rabbit named Sprout, whose hometown has been destroyed by the Trash Panda posse, a group of raccoon that's after your harvest. We were inspired by games such as Stardew Valley, Bloons, and Cult of the Lamb, which led us to create a cozy game that's approachable, but still gives the players the
The
ability
shadow
to go deep
work
with
there
it.
is really nice.
So during the day, you spend your time tending to your
Lends a
farm,
really nice
planting and
sense of
harvesting crops, as well as planting defensive
three-dimensionality
towers,
to these
exploring
flat
the surroundings
characters.
for treasures, or buying new supplies. Players have access to a variety of plant towers that grow into powerful allies. Their final evolutions must be unlocked in town and purchased within each run to mount a top-tier
Okay.
defense against the Trash Panda posse.
Okay, so this is a bit Plants vs Zombies.
We created a
Built
symbiosis
around a
system that
farming
rewards
sim.
players for creating a symbiotic garden where certain plants thrive when placed in proximity of each other. Once the player is ready, they can trigger the night phase where they must defend against waves of hungry raccoons using the planted towers and the equipment they've gathered during the day.
Oh, that's really fun.
Now let's skip ahead to see what a player's garden might look like further down the line.
The garden you're building is the garden's defense.
Once the player decides to leave or wins against all waves, they are returned to their hometown, where they can spend resources rebuilding, picking new quests, or buying permanent upgrades to empower their future runs. The Rabbit Hall features a lot of different weapons that can be discovered and used to fit the player's playstyle. The game also features a lot of ways to upgrade Sprout's abilities to match the challenges ahead.
This is really reminding me of Cult of the Lamb.
We're still hard
in
at
terms
work.
of that
We'll be
cycle
hosting
of...
a public playtest on our Discord server this summer.
Yeah, this is reminding me of that Cult of the Lamb loop in terms of you do your crafting, you do your building, you do your fixing up. You've got your real-time combat, you come back around to fixing up your little base camp. Obviously a little less on the cult side, but it feels like it's going to scratch a similar itch I've been looking for. Toss down.
Hey there, I'm Fair, a solo game developer with over a decade of experience creating games that blend fun and chaos. I'm excited to introduce my latest project, Tossdown. I've been developing this
I love
game
the speed
solo
of
for
this.
the past year and a half, and I can't wait to share everything about it with you. So,
The dash, the
I
jump,
want you to
the
imagine a world where
momentum.
meteors rain from the sky, missiles rip through the streets, and poach pirates run rampant.
I don't see enough
But you're still
parkour from this
expected to deliver
perspective.
packages. That's the chaos of Tossdown, a high-energy, action-packed delivery game where you play as a courier racing against the clock to complete deliveries while dodging a storm of absurd obstacles. Imagine Crazy Taxi crashing into jet set.
I was gonna say, this was reminding me a bit of the
unpredictable environments and hazards.
the
that force you
Yakuza
to
Crazy
adapt on the
Taxi
fly.
spoof.
The goal was to create a game that's both nostalgic and refreshingly modern. Let's take a look at the heart of Tossdown, the gameplay. As a courier, you have one goal, to make deliveries. But when everything and everyone is out to get you, you've got to get creative. Jump on cars for some extra height boost, but be careful.
We need more video games about the fact that service workers are not allowed to stop even in the literal end of the world scenarios, because, yeah, even when the world's getting locked down in terrifying scenarios, you're still expected to get your next day deliveries.
Or shield yourself from the madness. You can mix and match them for crazy combos that turn chaos into your weapon. Plus, there's specs to tweak your style. Do you want to run faster, tank more hits, blow up everything in your
Okay,
path?
so we're doing
You
roguelike
got it.
style.
Touchdown will have more than 60 plus perks you can choose
Oh,
from.
Yakuza X
You're not
Crazy
just stuck in one
Taxi,
spot
yes.
either. You
The most recent couple of Yakuzas set in Hawaii have a they're published by Sega, so they have a Crazy Taxi knockoff called Crazy Eats, where you were on a bicycle doing Uber Eats deliveries in Crazy Taxi style, while doing crazy tricks on your bicycle and trying not to get run off the road by a car. It's very chaotic. I am a big fan of Crazy Eats.
runs where every second counts, or fragile package deliveries that test your dodging abilities to the max. And since the levels are procedurally generated, every run comes with a surprise. Fail to complete a run, that's not a problem. You always unlock upgrades that would help your future runs. It's all about getting better and
Okay,
understanding
yeah.
the chaos. Touchdown is my love letter to straight-to-the-point action games. Pure, unfiltered
I
fun
love
with no
this.
fluff. It's the game I've always wanted to play.
This is
and I
one of
hope
those
you love
games
it
that,
too.
like, assuming
So, if this chaos sounds like your kind
it's
of thing,
playable on a
head over
handheld,
to
like,
Steam and
I can
wish
play
this
it on the
Tossdown
Steam
right
Deck
now.
probably.
And hey,
Like,
if you want to tag along the ride,
perfect
follow me on
second
social
screen
media or
kind of
hop
game.
into the
This.
Discord server to join the playtest and share your thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching.
I love a nice, quick-paced, short-run length, chaotic
Shout out to
roguelike.
all of the devs who are flexing their games and showing what they've been cooking. Ayasa Shadows of Silence, Rabbit Hall, and Toss Down are looking so hot this summer.
That was
Make sure to
Toss Down.
wishlist
I gotta
follow and
wishlist
support
that
all
one.
the games on the showcase.
I gotta remember
It
to
definitely
wishlist
helps them out.
things.
Up next, we're going to hop into the trailer from South of Midnight, which is a game that has been blowing up lately, and jump into the mix with Destiny and Derek for
2025,
an interview
cool.
with one of the developers at Compulsion Games. Stay live.
Oh, this game.
There's a
I
fine line between mercy and justice, ain't that right, Hazel Flood?
Ooh. Let me mute this for a
Just
second.
hard road for you.
So I played through this in a really early state. I was on mock reviews for this game, so I played a build. My experience with this game was playing it about a year or so before it came out. And it was very clear at the time this game was going to be something special. Like, I was on a team of people who was like, hey, play this game, review it as if it was coming out today, let us know your thoughts so we know what to expect in reviews. And I was like, look, it's clearly still a ways out, but like the things that make this game shine were very apparent very early on. It is nice to have a game from Compulsion that I have so few critiques of, that feels like it learned a lot from the things that We Happy Few maybe didn't necessarily do as well.
Strands. And now you're looking
Yes,
for
this
a
is
creature.
Microsoft, which,
You're
you know,
a weaver.
I am currently boycotting Microsoft. I've talked about this before. Go check out yesterday's stream about the Xbox conference if you want to know why, but I can simultaneously go, this game is something pretty special.
There's something big out there.
Take this and go find your mama.
Gay Frog says, surprised you're allowed to talk about it. I can't say specifics, other than my experience was about a year before release, and I could see that it was pretty special.
I'll come back.
You better.
You know, I can't go into specifics about what a year-old build of this game looked like, but... I can tip this down a bit. Yeah, considering I played this like a year before it came out, I still have some of the songs stuck in my head. I still have Two-Toed Tom get stuck in my head very frequently. This is one game, it was an absolute, like, of all the stuff that I've been avoiding the Xbox boycott, this is the one that, like, it really gutted me not to stream, because, like, I have so many thoughts about this one. Yeah. The character animation is deliberately low frame rate. You can turn off the low frame rate animation if you want.
Get enough of it.
It is an optional filter you can turn off.
Des, what did you think?
Whenever honestly, the first time I saw that trailer, I was super excited.
Yeah, like, I think the low frame rate animation looks great. You can turn it off, which I know is important for some people for accessibility purposes. It did make some people motion sick, so it's good that you can turn it off. But it is a toggle, but it defaults to being stop motion effect.
I felt like, okay, the people who are making this game definitely saw that movie and definitely got inspiration from it, and it was beautiful. Like,
I gotta
think
scroll
it won,
back.
like,
Which movie?
Kind of to like this movie that I saw a really long time ago called Beasts of the Southern Wild, which like features like this little girl, and she's going on this journey, right, to like, and it's like a coming of age, like with her and her father, and it just kind of, I felt like, okay, the people who are making this game definitely saw that movie and definitely got inspiration from it, and it was beautiful. Like, I think it won like Academy Awards and things like that. So
Beast of the
I
Southern
love what
Wilds.
you've done with the trailer and with the game, because it really does speak to a place that no game has ever really done well before.
Okay, fairly recent one, 2012.
Yeah. I'm really excited to be digging into the trailer, digging into some of these references that you mentioned.
I need to check that out.
Why, this is going to be a really good segue into our next into our exciting guest that we have for the showcase today. That is Zaire Lanier from Compulsion Games. Zaire, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to talk to you guys.
Yeah. I pin that reference first before we dig into some of the details in talking about this exciting game, South of Midnight. Can you introduce yourself and give a little bit of clarity as to your role at Compulsion?
Yeah, I'm Zaire Lanier. I'm a game writer, narrative designer. I've been working in games since 2020, and I was one of the writers on South of Midnight. And I guess that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about today.
I wanted to know how you did your
Right,
taxes.
Tandy,
but
there's such a good selection of people
that,
involved in
let's
this
just- let's
showcase
just-
every year.
we'll just roll
Really
with that.
poorly, the IRS is probably like at my door too.
She's joking. Moving on.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
It's nice to have a showcase where we
No,
actually
go
see
ahead,
some of
it's
the
all
people behind
Oh,
games rather
okay.
than just going
We
trailer.
promised we were gonna do this back and forth, and I know it was my turn, yeah, but I'm catching the ball.
It's your turn now.
So, thank you. What I wanted to know is, like you said, you got into it in 2020, but
Oh,
I
give me
know
a sec
from
to
my
go
own
ban
story,
someone
like
on
the
the
reason why I
YouTube
wanted
chat.
to get into games was because I wanted to see more representation. Working on a project like this, where you're getting to write Black characters and talk about like history and some of our culture, like how did that make you feel?
Um, it really means a lot to me. I've been playing games for a decent chunk of my life, but a lot of it was when I was younger, especially it was like Call of Duty or, goofy stuff with my cousins. Which the games have narrative, but I don't consider them necessarily like narrative, like strongly narrative games. Um, and I've enjoyed all these characters, and then as I got older, I started playing like Mass Effect or The Last of Us, games that
Yeah.
are really well known for their story. But I didn't, and even though I
Let's
enjoyed
kick
those
them
characters,
out.
I never really saw characters that looked like me all that often. So for me to be able to put that out into the world, so someone who plays their first game at like 12 or 13 or something, or even younger, for them to see someone that looks like them or like their mom or their little sisters, like that means just so much to me. Just because it's not something that happens very often in games.
Right, right. As you were sharing that, you mentioned narrative, and you've also identified your role as a writer at Compulsion Games. For people
Right,
who
Lords
are
around now, it
considering
is nice to have a
entering
dev
the games
interview that's
industry
an
or maybe
actual interview
navigating
and
those
not
opportunities
just
now,
these
can you
tell
help
us the
to
back of the
create
box
a
points about
distinction
your
between
game.
what is writing for games and what is narrative design?
That's
Oh,
like
I've been learning about
that's
this
a really
recently.
big can of worms.
Yeah.
I feel like that varies from like studio to studio, and
Yeah.
Right.
it just kind of depends.
What does it
But
mean
if you
for
were to ask,
compulsion would be a better question, yeah.
Yeah, as a quick side note, I have been recently taking part in a mentorship on narrative design and writing work for video games. I have been learning about the many studios' fraught distinction between the two.
ton of cutscenes, self-talk, readables, like that kind of stuff. And narrative design is kind of the narrative delivery systems that go into the game. So how do the readables connect with the overall story of the game? What does it mean for the in-universe mythos? What
Yeah,
are we trying to
it's the
convey to the
distinction
player?
between
Because
the
that aspect of
mechanical
it is
and
more
overarching
interactive.
aspects
You're
of a narrative
watching a
versus the
cutscene,
mechanical aspects of
it's
writing a
little bit more
story.
passive, but narrative design it's everything from environmental storytelling to if you play the game like Mahalia's Weaver symbols, like what do those mean? Working with art to make that symbol meaningful. So I think it's a little bit more not quite technical.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it is technical, but it's
Narrative
it
design's more
encapsulates more than just, like,
multidisciplinary.
writing pretty cutscenes and like nice sentences. It's how is this going to
Like,
work together in
Being a
tandem
lead
with, like,
writer
art,
involves a lot
music,
more script, like
level design, and all that
screenwriting
other stuff.
experience, whereas
I love
narrative
that.
design is
That's-
like
I think that's a great
designing
definition,
the
just because
bigger
I don't
picture
know if
of
a
the
lot
narrative.
of I would say the way you explained it in my head, narrative design is more world building, whereas like a writer, you're giving them the scenes to write and the world is already kind of being created, but there's still a bit of back and
Kinda,
forth,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's
the
how
line
I've
is
always looked at it.
definitely- Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
No,
I'll
no,
say the line
no.
is definitely blurred. Like I do a little bit of narrative design. My friend Danny, who works on the game,
Narrative
she does some
design is
writing.
indeed also
We collab
handshaking
with
with
each other.
systems.
But I definitely, the narrative design I think is her specialty. And she's very
Yes,
good
can
at
you
that,
write this in
presenting
a
these
format
ideas. Like,
that
I'll have an
works
idea,
with
she's like, "All right,
the
well, how do we present
choice-based
this to the
narrative
level design
system
so
we
it makes
have or
sense?" And I'll,
whatever?
like look to her for her leadership on that, and we
And you
help each
design
other
your
cut some
narrative in a
stuff. So
way
it's all
that
a group
works with
effort. I think we all kind of
the
bleed
narrative
into each
flag
other's
system.
specialties a little bit. But I do think there is a distinction.
Did you guys meet on this project or did you know Danny before then? And how is that working with like another friend? Because I know a lot of people, they make friends at their job, but like having somebody that you've known for a while and then kind of being able to work with them to create something so special.
Right, Alice,
Yeah,
this is more in
I
line with
have
something
known
like Day of the
Danny
Devs in
for a
terms
bit,
of
a couple years now at this point.
actually talking
we
with
met on
devs,
Twitter,
but
which is how I've met.
definitely
probably
more casual than laid back.
But I love
80%.
it.
But
Oh, I made my
like
friends too.
80% of the
Day of
people
the
I
Devs
play
is
games
definitely
I
the
know through
closest.
Twitter because
Yeah.
I was in the Midwest and I wasn't in a gaming city. So that was pretty much the only way I had to get to know people. But I ran a Kickstarter and I asked her to it was a horror anthology type thing with cryptids, and asked her if she would like to write one of the entries in it. And Danny also runs her own small studio. So I knew she knew her stuff. She's very professional, and I was like, hey, like we're hiring. If you would like to apply. And I mean, she got the job because she's very good at what she does. So it was really nice to have someone I know on the project with me, but also someone who is familiar with the culture we're working with. They have those Southern connections as well, and someone that I just like know we work pretty well together. It was very. I'm very proud of the work we did, and it meant a lot to be able to do that with her because it's not something that I wanted to do by myself. Like have that on my shoulders necessarily. It was nice to have someone to like share that with and bounce ideas off of.
I love that.
I was one of those cryptid backers, by the way. I remember that. You said that, and I was like, that's where we probably connected online.
Yeah.
There's a when it comes to narrative and a lot of the aspects of the game, I've had an opportunity to consume a lot of the tangential information surrounding South of Midnight, and one of which was this very documentarian style coverage of how you and the team really immersed yourselves in the environment. And when I think about that, South of Midnight is deeply, mythology is deeply woven throughout the entire game. And of course, like going into another environment to immerse yourself in different aspects of mythology. How did you navigate that? What was important to you? What did you discover along the way?
So one thing I really liked about working with Compulsion on this was they knew what they didn't know.
Yeah, because a lot of the Compulsion dev team
and they were
is
okay
based
with that,
in
and
Canada.
they wanted to get the right people to make it as authentic as they could. So the team did visits down to the South. They were in multiple states, multiple times, lots of different communities. For even down to like the sound design, they had people out in the swamps with parabolic microphones.
The sound
capturing the
design
sounds
and the
of
music is
insects,
so
of
superb in
birds,
this whole
and they
game.
did it multiple times throughout the year. And so I think Compulsion, because they were so willing to lean into that authenticity, and, we had references, so Beast of the Southern Wilds, Night of the Hunter, Eve's Bayou. I read some stuff on my own.
I say this frequently when it comes to consulting stuff.
Really
The most important thing for a dev team is being willing to admit what you don't know.
With,
it's such a good start to just go, I know where the limits to my knowledge are.
To the people in the South, because you don't want it to come off as very stereotypical. These are living, breathing people with living, breathing histories, and we wanted to respect that while at the same time we are trying to tell our own story at Compulsion. So paying those respects and those homages, but also
something that
very
sits
much like
respectfully alongside authentic.
And I think we did that really well.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think from everybody who I've talked to who have played the game and who are from the South, I'm in Tennessee, and a lot of my family is from the South on my dad's side. It felt like a love letter. It felt like something, I don't know how to explain this, but like you can tell when people put their heart into something and their passion into something, because it comes across when you see it, and you're like, they really cared about how they wanted to portray these characters and their story. And all of the characters are so layered, which is really nice because they felt real. Like you felt like that person used to live down the street from me, like honestly. And I was saying, like with the Rue reminds me of this other character from another show that like I connected with. So I think you guys did an incredible job. And I think what I can appreciate about Compulsion Games is that they did hire people of color, Black people, to help tell that story, and that is so important because you get some of these rooms.
This is the thing I was really glad.
Any of us trying to tell our stories, and they're just missing the mark.
This is the thing I was really glad to see, in that it is no secret that if you look at photos of Compulsion's development staff around when they were working on We Happy Few, it was a very white Canadian studio. In all the big studio photos you got were very, very, very white. And it was reassuring to see that, like, properly acknowledged and that addressed somewhat in the studio culture in the ramping up to South of Midnight, because like that is one of those things that, like, when I heard Compulsion, I was like, fingers crossed you get the right people in to do this when the game was first announced. But yeah, to their credit, they definitely put the work in to make sure that, like, they acknowledged a bit of an imbalance in their studio and did do something tangible about that before tackling this game.
That's not true, actually. My grandmother got an old school Xbox, the original Xbox when it first came out.
Ruth Billy Jam,
I had Knights of the Old Republic.
welcome. I'm sorry the
okay.
YouTube chat is terrible.
12. And I was like flabbergasted. I was floored.
I've
I
already
remember
had to
running
moderate
grandma
my
and being like,
YouTube
"Oh my
chat
God,"
during
you
this
know,
a couple
the
of
big flips,
times.
and
So
she
you're
didn't
not
know what was
alone.
going on. She's
But
like,
we're nice and chill over
"Hey,
here.
you know, I'm so glad you had fun." And I was like, yeah, but I hadn't really gamed in between, you know, the original Xbox and getting a PS3. But I played those games and I was like, oh well, someone has to write these. And I had never thought of that, because when you think about English degree, you're like, oh, or a writer, you can write books, you could be a teacher, and that's all I could really think of. So then I just hopped on Twitter and I followed a writer who worked on the Walking Dead series, the Telltale series. And I went through everyone she followed, and if it said game writer or narrative designer, I followed them. And
This is exactly how I went about getting into games critique. I'm feeling a bit called out by this method.
What do I do? And I started doing game jams.
That's
and
called
then-
research.
Yep.
It's true. That's true.
That's called research. That's good.
And then I did game jams, and then I got a scholarship to go to GDC, but then 2020 hit, and so that was devastating. And then I did a Kickstarter that kind of took off, and that's what got me noticed in games, and I got my first job on Subnautica Below Zero, working on as like a junior writer on that, and that was my first foray into games.
Is that the
So
first
I
one or
kinda
the second
fell
one?
into it. It's the second one.
Okay, because I remember distinctly that the second one, the main character was a black woman, and I was like,
Yep.
oh, okay. Okay, that's really incredible, and I love that you touched on that. And I'm gonna throw it back to you, Derek. I just wanted to like tell the people who are watching who want to get into games, there are so many different ways to get into games. There's not just one way. So I know, like, you can have I believe in education, okay? And you can have these people saying, like, you need to come to school to do that. You absolutely don't. School is really good for networking, but if, like, you're a storyteller, you're a storyteller.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
10 different writers.
The most important thing is just start writing.
It's all different.
Incredibly different
Building a good
stories.
portfolio
You'll
will
have
do so much.
Scientists, and then you'll have, you know, someone who went to school for
Oh,
writing.
they disabled chat on
It just
IGN's
runs the
YouTube.
gamut.
It does not
Which I
surprise
think is
me.
actually really cool.
Yeah.
I do too. A lot of different perspectives coming in to create something. So just keep trying, because I know right now
You
times
always
are
have
hard
this
out
with
there.
minority
Keep
voices.
trying.
Yeah, when it comes to these kind of showcases. I had this a couple of days ago when we were doing the Accessibility Summer Showcase. We had some real fucking gross ableism in the chat, because obviously centering and featuring disabled voices, we had a fair share of grossness, but kept on top of it as best we could. But it's cool. We got nice chill spaces.
You know, looking at the stories that maybe like really imparted themselves upon you. You talked about these Telltale games. You talked about Knights of the Old Republic. Were there any how do I say this? Are there any memories that you have about the impact of narrative upon you that you really made an effort to kind of apply to a title like this, whether that dealt with maybe Hazel or some aspect that happened in the overall arc of the story?
Yeah.
Look at these actual questions from a game showcase and not
stories
just
that
PR fluff. Hell yeah.
Re-experienced for South of
I'm
Midnight.
enjoying this.
I reread Their Eyes Were Watching God, because it is such a... The language in it is just really good, really poignant, and the emotions in it are... It's just so well done. I love Zora Neale Hurston. I think she's
The
a
Eyes
treasure.
Are Watching
And then I
God.
also rewatched Crooklyn, which I think is one of Spike Lee's, like, I don't want to say it's underrated, but I don't hear people talk about it often enough.
I love that movie.
Same. It's one of my favorites.
Okay.
And the relationship between Troy, who's the main character, and her mother, and this growing pain space that they're in because the mother is sick, and Troy doesn't really know how to handle that. the mom's not perfect by any means. You know, Troy's a kid, so she also has her own really big emotions. And
I asked
and the
Sayed
movie
to give
also
me a
has
list
these,
of all
like,
these references. I need a
slightly
South Midnight
magical
watch
moments
list
in
/
them
read
that, like,
list.
don't
Yes.
quite make
I'm
sense.
starting
You're
to
like, I don't
create
understand
one in
what's
my other
happening.
monitor up there.
But that's something that I rewatched a couple times because I was like, I really want to nail this feeling, especially as you get to the end of the movie with the acceptance of everything that's happening.
I'm a big fan
so
of.
I think for me, those were
Give,
probably
give
the
me
two
all the
biggest ones, and
things
then also
that
Eve's
coalesce
Value,
to inspire a piece of
was-
work. I
was
wanna.
one as well.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
something can
that's
inspire
wonderful.
someone to create great work, I
love
wanna.
Brooklyn.
I
That's
wanna
all I
dig
wanted to
into
say. It's such a
that
good movie.
inspiration.
It's so underrated, and now that you've brought it up,
South
I
of
can
Midnight
see
plus Sinners
kind of,
discussion
like,
panel.
Not
Oh,
not the comparison, but the things that you
God,
could take away
Sinners
from
was so
that
good.
to tell a coming of age story about a girl who's dealing with like a traumatic situation with their mother, with a parental figure.
Yeah.
Another
Zaire,
question.
real quick,
Oh,
I
I'm
think you
so
need
sorry.
to come up with a. No, you're good. I'm the one interrupting, so I apologize. No, I just real quick with all the references. I think we need like a South of Midnight watch read list.
Oh, yeah.
That
Fu-
people
funny you
can-
should
can leap
mention
into
that.
after having their experience with the game.
there's a Sinner panel at the
I think
con. I'm
that's
guessing
really-
at next
that's a
month.
really
It's
good idea.
11:30 p.m. Oh.
Oh my god,
Rough.
I think the question I had.
I'm so
just
glad
kinda
that Sinners has
blew-
done
okay,
as
okay, okay.
financially well as it's done.
So this is a
It
weird
deserves
question,
it.
but
I'm
one of
real
the
happy to
things
see that film be
I
successful.
thought was really interesting, and this is just like visually, is before I started playing the game, I didn't realize that our main character was of mixed race, right? And I know that that's really important. I think it's something that like we don't touch on a lot because it's like I don't know, like if people are just afraid to talk about it, but how that
Hey, Couple
experience is
Master.
different, especially in the South. Like it's a huge thing. How did you feel about that as you were writing the characters and kind of like exploring the story? Because it's a different dynamic. It really is. I come from a family that like both of my parents are just like they're blackity black all day long. But when you have a mixed race family,
Yeah, that-
the dynamic
that grandmother sure was written.
other aspects to just going through life as a mixed biracial person.
Yeah, I think for Hazel, the way she grows up and the way her mother raises her, we don't get to see it a super ton, but Hazel, I think, is raised. I mean, if Hazel was walking down the street, if Hazel got, I don't know, pulled over by the police, God forbid.
I knew you were gonna say that.
But like Hazel is a black woman. I think she would see herself as a black woman. We don't overtly address Hazel's like mixed race heritage. I mean, and that's another huge. We could talk about that for a really long time. But it's kind of hinted at in how Bunny doesn't necessarily have the greatest relationship with her.
Yes.
And the way Hazel and Lacey
Yeah, Bunny
kinda
doesn't have to
each
say
other
it
in
to
the
make it
community.
clear
They
how
have,
she
like,
feels
Mrs.
about
Pearl,
it.
Bo and Jolene. So it's not something that we, I think, overtly wanted to address because the theme of
A&H
narrative
London,
is
the stream's going
all narrative
good.
requires space.
I've
and
already
we have to take
wish
space
listed
from
2
one
games
thing,
from this. We wish
take it from something
listed
else. And so sometimes in a story you have these
we wish listed Toss Down, which is like a top-down isometric perspective game about being a delivery driver at the end of the world. There's like missiles firing everywhere and zombies in the street, and you still have to deliver your packages. It's a roguelike, sort of fast parkouring one. That looks really cool. Also, the Rabbit Hall, which is a cozy farming sim game, except the plants you are planting are like the plants from Plants vs. Zombies. They're going to be tower defense plants that will defend themselves and your farm from being attacked because the plants you're growing have various properties. It looks super cute. You play as a little bunny farmer. 2 very good things that I would recommend checking out if you're just tuning in now.
The way things happen with our genes. But I thought that was very important. I want people to identify with that and have that person to look up to.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for saying that. I think that's really important. I know like we're wrapping up and I'm going to throw it back to Derek, but knowing when you have that space to really like dedicate to something so that you're not doing it an injustice. And I really appreciate that like you guys took that into consideration, because a lot of times people try to squeeze things in and you're like, well, that didn't really fit. That didn't really make a lot of sense. So love that.
In your explanation, you addressed my next question, which I think is really embedded in there, which was what you hope fans can walk away with. And so this conversation about Hazel really identifies that. Instead, I'm going to wrap up with a much easier question and ask, well, hopefully easier. Who's your favorite character in South of Midnight?
I mean, I wanted to say Hazel. I think Hazel's really cool, but I feel like that's cheating. I think I will do a character necessary. Go ahead.
Who are you most excited for fans to meet?
I think the story in the swamp later in the game with Honey, Altamaha, Mahalia, the way all these kind of mythical strands, no pun intended, kind of like all meet, and kind of the passing of the torch that happens there, and like the finishing of, you know, a job that was left unfinished, I think is really heartfelt. And I also think the music in that level is just, I've never heard anything like it in a game. It felt very,
once again, so many of the
personal.
tracks from this game from
music
when
they
I did
might
my
have grown
work.
up with, even if they didn't go to church,
Mark
it's
review
like
pass
it's
on it.
just a part of Black American
Deeply
culture in a lot of
burrowed
ways,
into my
and
brain.
I
The
feel
longer
very
this has
proud
gone on, the
to
more I've wanted to just start humming Two-Tone Tom at
contributed to that
myself.
in any kind of way. I think it's very, very cool to showcase our culture in that way.
Hell yeah.
Hey there, I'm Data Dave, a Twitch ambassador and voice actor in the gaming industry. Now, I just want to say that was an amazing interview from one of the developers of South of Midnight. Now, it's a great game, so definitely check it out. I played it. Next up, are you excited to see a collection of game trailers we're spotlighting?
I am! Show me some
Yo,
trailers!
I'm CryoGX, solo dev here to tell you the wait for Advent Neon is almost over. If you haven't kept up for the past, goodness, 6 years? Advent Neon's been a solo passion project of mine ever since I graduated college. I'm gonna showcase a new level today, right after I turn Neon even more green than they already are. Hope you enjoy unlocking everything. But yeah, back to the solo thing. The programming, art, music,
Okay,
sound,
so I'm guessing
things that you normally see
Sonic-like.
other devs outsource to different artists.
Ooh, very
Nah, that stuff's
bouncy.
all me. From here, we can warp to other districts in the game. We're just gonna go to Hexane District for today, but as you probably figured, you can go to whichever one you want in any order you want. So yeah, here's the Hexane District hub, and the first level, we're just gonna go straight in. And beat my last score while I'm at it. So yeah, if you're playing these levels in order, this stage will formally introduce you to grind rails. Because every platform is cooler with them. Hey, I don't make the rules, I just pretend to know what they are. This game's got some
Ooh.
depth too. While these rails let you go fast on them, the momentum from them will carry over into a high-speed run once you get off of them, which you can use to instantly wipe out enemies if you can maintain that speed. Observe.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, I like that. I like that a
But yeah,
lot.
that's one of those high skill ceiling expression things. Wait a second. Since I ignored that hive earlier, a wasp enemy followed me, tried to hit me, but I dashed right as I was about to get hit to freeze time and counter.
That
No, get me out
that
of here.
punch is so satisfying. That giant
Mastering
fist.
the entirety of Neon's moveset, as well as the level layouts, will make you look absolutely godlike to other players. But that level of mastery is not required by any means to enjoy the game.
Natalie says now this is charming and informative, right? This is what I wish more trailers
we've got
in
penguins
these
outside of their
Summer
natural
Games
habitat. This one
showcases were
particularly
like.
dies.
This is the format I love, is uninterrupted
Kinda guess it's
gameplay
revenge,
without
but-
cuts, with the developer
You know,
explaining
I
what the
initially came up
mechanics
with the idea
are
of this
as
game
we
when playing
play.
Mega Man ZXA as a kid, and I was like, I'm tired of shooting. I only want to melee, and I want to dash in all 8 directions. Fast forward to games
Right.
like Celeste and Spark the Electric Jester
Talking
coming
through
out,
like the
and I learned
development
those ideas
process
were
and the
really
ideas
fun on
behind it,
principle.
I understand so much
Almost
more what this
100%.
game is than anything we saw in
Ooh,
6-1
finally,
Indies, for example.
And I lost it, just like that.
It's...
To explain, that percent counter at the top left of the screen, that is Neon's resonance. It acts as critical hit rate if you're familiar with that general mechanic.
Right.
It goes up as you fight and
You're
collect the green
explaining to me
triangular
what I'm
nodes across the
seeing.
stage. And at 100%, Neon transforms and becomes even stronger. But if you get hit without any shields or upgrades, you go all the way back down to 0. So maintaining it will make you really powerful, fast, and cool. Oh yeah, here comes the tricky part of the level.
Oh, I love
guess
the
it wouldn't be a railway if it wasn't
triangular
triangular.
shape the
Yeah,
spinning
segment
legs
side scroll.
do.
So those missiles won't be a threat unless you try to hold forward and speed
The
up.
sort of Sonic the
Meantime,
Hedgehog
though, you can
figure
tear
of
through all
8
these
legs, but they're
enemies flying through.
triangular.
And if you're trying to get an S rank for enemies killed, then that becomes a requirement. I meant to say KO, but same difference, right?
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
good.
this
Another
is the
paint
trailer
roll.
structure I've been
I mean,
asking
KO.
for all week.
All right, finally got
Give
the
me
mini boss
more
fight here.
trailers like
This design was
this.
actually suggested by one of my Kickstarter backers. Think it
Little
came
bit of
out
story,
really
little
cool.
bit of getting to know the
I do hope they
developer,
agree.
little bit of understanding the mechanics, whole lot of actual gameplay that is uncut and uninterrupted, so I can register
should've tried to
what
parry her again.
you're doing when you
Actually,
play the
hold on,
game.
we're getting pretty close here. Come on, give me a couple more hits.
Personable, doesn't
We are
feel overly
back.
rehearsed, doesn't feel
I don't know how
overly
much
like.
sense it makes for a big train to be
Doesn't
piloted
feel
by a smaller train that
cringy
just flew
in,
off
like,
into the distance,
enforced.
but hey, it's neat. Also, God, it's sending shadow clones after me. Okay. Nah, buddy, I'm keeping this 100%.
Like, you
to the
can
end of the
tell
level.
it
You ain't
is
stopping me.
scripted and planned, but it's the effort has been put in to make it feel natural.
Nice, there it is. Okay, what was that? A rank? No, that's probably an S rank.
Trailers are hard enough as it is.
Okay,
Even the best
okay.
ones benefit from a deeper
Okay.
understanding of what makes this game
Spoiler
special.
alert, that's
Couldn't
not the
agree
highest rank
more.
of the game. See that 98% down there?
It's a
There's
thing
the
I
rank.
bemoan constantly.
What? Not today, though.
Is the number of trailers that
I'm just
like
gonna go back to the
assume you
tunnels area
already
and chill
know
for a
or
bit.
understand the game.
But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed
Or
what you
that
saw.
just-
That'll be it for my little showcase.
Yeah.
I want to thank Justin, Derek.
The number of trailers that assume that, like, because it's evident to the developer what they're seeing in their footage, that it will be equally as apparent to a viewer who is seeing the game for the first time. And specifically, a viewer seeing the game for the first time who might have seen 20 other game trailers earlier today before that. Because that's the other thing. Talking about it, like, it makes it so much less likely that your viewer is just going to absolutely mentally blank out during the trailer and not process it. Like, this is a trailer I would show to people and go, Advent Neon. I would say this is a great masterclass to look at of, like, how to
Hi.
use your time in one of these
I'm Tade
showcases.
Ajiboye, a solo game developer from Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm working on a game called Go North. I like to describe Go North as
Ooh,
the
Advent Neon has a
first immersive
demo.
maze
Heck
adventure
yeah.
ever. It's a narrative-driven game where you explore beautiful environments, discover useful items, and solve various puzzles, all while trying to find your way through a variety of
There was one the other day that
I've been developing
was
games
really
for
good in
over
a similar
decade.
way. It was
This has been mostly
oh,
filler
what was the
work,
one?
where I build
It was the one
games
for
and get
Retooled in
responses
Day
for
of the
companies
Devs.
across
The
globe.
going
now,
and
I'm
going
finally
and
doing something of
stealing
my own.
back stolen African
One of my
artifacts
goals
from
is to
different
contribute
countries
meaningfully
heist
to the
game.
Nigerian game
That
development.
did a really good job of
It's a
like
growing
its narration
industry,
was
but
similarly
we're
good
still
at
finding our voice and
explain the
pushing on a
gameplay
global
loop,
scale.
show you the
And I
core
think
parts of the
one of the
gameplay
core
loop,
reasons for this is
talk
that
you
we
through
lack
what you're
proper
seeing as it
success stories.
happens.
I'm hoping Go North can be one of these.
Again, Day of the Devs, generally
I
speaking, like
wanted
is
to
pretty good
create a
at doing
game that
that.
blends adventure with a sense of calm. A
Relooted,
relaxing,
relooted.
cozy game,
Did I say retooled? I
wide-ranging
might have said
enough to
retooled.
be
Relooted.
challenging, but not one expressed through technical difficulty. I wanted to build something that evoked the same emotions as games like
Ooh.
Journey, Grace, and The Short Hike. That's why Go North focuses on exploration over combat, on atmosphere over pressure, and on the
I love
immense
the cell
power of
shading style
cuteness
on
and
this.
beauty. It's a game you can take at your own pace.
Oh.
In Go North, you explore a variety of maze types, ranging from forest mazes to mazes in the sky to endless corridors to garden mazes. Each maze is visually distinct, and each one presents a different navigational challenge. To help players through them, I've designed a wide array of unique items. These range from items I call the Waybloom, which is a plant-like beacon you can place anywhere that shoots a beam into the sky, and you can track it from any location and you can easily find your way back to it.
Okay.
To other items like the Lunar Boards, which are a hoverboard type item that helps you traverse around the maze. These items allow players to engage with the maze at their own pace and style, whether they're methodical explorers or curious wanderers.
Okay.
At the heart of Go North is a story. You play as Dara, a young girl on a journey towards
I
the
love the
northernmost part of the
proportions
world.
of how that character model has been put
Legend
together.
has it
Very
that the maze
cute.
god resides there, and that he grants one wish to any adventurer brave and cunning enough to track him. But to truly go north, Dara must navigate countless difficult mazes purposefully crafted by the maze makers to get her lost. Along the way, she'll meet other maze explorers, make friends, and help others as she navigates her way forward. I have been developing Go North solo, but I have also contracted out specific tasks to local talent here in Nigeria. It's very important to me that the game showcases what Nigerian talents can accomplish, And by investing in local artists, I want to be able to prove that we can build globally competitive games right here in Nigeria and hopefully inspire more creatives to do the same. Thank you so much for checking out Grown Up. If you're interested in a relaxed,
I love when you get
adventure,
games that are
or you
very
just want to support a
specifically
growing
like
indie scene, I'd love for you to follow the game, wish
very
the
much
tips,
leaning
and share it
into
with others.
being
Let's go nuts
developed
together.
in a specific scene. Like,
hi, I'm Nerys, game director of Ascend, developed by Miami Avalon. We're an indie studio based in Warwick in the UK. Ascend is a meditative puzzle adventure game about climbing a sacred mountain, solving zodiac trials, and restoring your inner world.
did we see this at one of the other showcases? I feel like we
At its
did.
core, Ascend is about transformation, emotional, spiritual, and elemental.
The last
There's
one
Aurora, a
was
pilgrim searching
I've already
for meaning
blanked
across
on
the
the name.
mountains
Give me a
of
second. We can wind back.
Thank you here in Nigeria. I want to be able to prove having friends and help others as she navigates her way forward.
Go north. Yes. Aha. Thank you.
Constellation-themed puzzles and a unique time.
I knew we'd heard the name and my
where
brain
you can shift
just
between
went.
day,
No,
twilight,
that
and
one's
dusk.
gone.
Each time of day reveals a different layer within the world. Some puzzles only come alive at certain times of the day.
Yeah, we
so
definitely saw
twilight
this in one of the other
reveals
showcases.
secrets by the moonlight. Your light altars, reroute waterfalls, reflect beams, twist ancient machinery, and reshape the landscape to move forward. Aurora, our main character, her journey is steep.
Yeah, it might have been the women-led games showcase. Would be my
Or
guess.
even unsure whether she's even meant to be here. This isn't just a character trait, it came from us, it came from myself. A lot of her inner voice, her hesitations, her dry humour are pulled from real thoughts where I've had to try to keep going.
Yeah, I've definitely seen this character
Ascend
design
became a way to
before.
explore how anxiety doesn't always look loud. It's about how we can live in silence and second guesses, in the pressure to keep climbing even when we're not even sure why. The mountain reflects the emotional weight, and the puzzle's actually to move through it, not fix it. Ascend is about the climb that we all make, the one that nobody sees, the one inside. Through light, myth, and puzzle solving, we're not just uncovering the secrets of the mountain, you're uncovering parts of yourself. It's coming 28th of August.
Okay, this
You
one's
can
pretty
take the demo
soon.
for free now on Steam, and wish us the full release coming 28th of
Yeah.
August. Please take a look at our trailer.
I didn't come here to be a hero. I came because no one else could.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely remember
someone
this
had to.
voiceover.
They say the mountain keeps the ones who didn't make it. Pilgrims frozen mid-thought, like ghosts who forgot what they were searching for. Each trial's tied to a zodiac sign. Leo burned. Sagittarius? That one gave me answers I wasn't ready for. They all say the mountain changes you, but maybe it's just trying to show you what you already are. 12 zodiac signs, 12 riddles, and I'm somehow supposed to solve them without losing my mind? Easy. Even if the mountain sees more of me than I want it to, there's no going back now.
Natalie, there
what lies
should be a
ahead,
regular
but I
stream this
know I
evening.
have to keep climbing.
I say should be. I've got a work call at 9 PM UK. Hopefully won't be more than like half an hour, maybe an hour at most. I should be streaming from 10 PM UK, 5 PM Eastern, 2 PM Pacific. The plan is to start streaming the English dub of Yakuza 0 on Switch 2.
Everything just looks so
That is the
fun. I
plan.
cannot wait.
I'm
to
gonna
play the
have
final
dinner,
build
do
of
my work
Avon
call,
Neon. I've
have a
been following
bath,
that one
hopefully
for
be
a
back
minute.
in time
It
for
gives me Sega flashbacks.
getting back to doing a Yakuza stream
Our
tonight.
next guest is
That's
a
the
talented
plan.
musician who has influenced hip hop and the gaming culture through clever wordplay, production, and live with his freestyle skills, which he
turn
is
this up
a master
slightly.
at. Ladies and gentlemen, gamers, hip hop heads, and everything in between, we bring you Mega Ran.
I was wondering if it was. I was like,
you are now in the place with.
We're hearing gaming.
Mega Ran.
Is it gonna be
That's
Mega
right.
Ran?
Shout out to Black Voices in Gaming, everybody for having us out.
Kelly, yeah, that's been some interesting stuff. Sorry, let me turn this down slightly. The two that I've wish listed so far that looked really good to me, or three. Advent Neon, the cool Sonic-like that looks pretty cool. There was the Rabbit Hall, where you do a little cute farming sim, but then the plants are like Plants vs. Zombies and they're tower defense and they defend your farm. And another one that I've already forgotten the name of. I need to look in my list. What was the other one? That was Going North. What was the other one that I put down? Oh, what was the name of the parkour? You're trying to deliver packages while the world is exploding around you. What was that one called?
No more heroes because they don't want to rap.
Throwdown?
My Metal Gear Solid. Modern Warfare. Cast dark clouds every several years.
Toss Down. Toss Down. Yeah, Toss Down's a roguelike, isometric parcel delivery with like fucking missiles chasing after you and stuff. It looks pretty fun.
They know I've been the best, so we live at Summer Game Fest. Oh yes. Go, 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 go. Go.
Anyway, let's just turn this up and just enjoy some Mega Man for a minute.
Go, go, go. Gaming and entertaining. Go, 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 go. Any questions? Yeah. Because this is the beginning of the Mega Man legend.
Oh, that's a point. We didn't get a musical interlude in Summer Games Fest this year. Keighley didn't put musicians on stage at any point.
Summer Game Fest is underway. Hope you've been playing some great games, hearing some great stuff. My name is Mega Ran, and I'm here to give you a little bit of halftime entertainment. So yeah.
Do we know a length for this showcase? Just because I gotta plan my work evenings still around this. Do we know roughly how long this showcase is going for?
Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Because I gotta do the washing up and dinner before I got my meeting.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Wherever you are, you can hear me. You gotta take it back to the 90s for this one. Okay, now say go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go, 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 go. Yeah. Okay. Hey, heroes in a hash down. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. So this track is called It's a Pizza Party. Cause it's time, heroes in a hash down. Yo, and it goes like this. Hey, extra, extra, read all about how Shredder and Krang rap things without a doubt. Now here's a little story I like to tell about 4 youngsters come out of their shell. You might be wondering what this world comes to. Talking turtles all burst and kung fu. Straight from the sewer, making maneuvers in New York City, bringing it to wrongdoers.
I'm gonna guess this is 2 hours given the mention of halftime, which is fine. I'm just gonna have to message and let my wife know I'm running a little late.
After a long fight, we'll need some pizza. That's how we quell this hunger. So if you with me, say cowabunga. That's turtle power. So that is on Shredder's Revenge, which is out right now. That's the ending theme, so you got to beat the game to get the rest of it. But yo, let's get into some Final Fantasy VII, because that's my true love, honestly. Role-playing games, especially from the 90s, from a company called Square Soft, not necessarily Square Enix. All right, y'all. So this one here is how I'm gonna show you how to start a revolution. Take your hand.
Oh, I'd like to start a revolution. Oh, hey, Jane. I was just about to message you and tell you we might have another hour of this.
And you raise it towards the sky, and you say, hey, 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 we beat them. Insurgents, not a bit nervous. Encouraged, got a bit
subtle shades for Square Enix, yeah.
Getting rid of our enemies. A-V-A-L-A-N-C-H-E, yeah, that's who we be. Insurgents, not a bit nervous. No lip service, got a bit further to go. Do what we gotta get. Who want that problem? A-V-A-L-A-N-C-H-E, yeah, that's who we. There's a massive company called Shinra. I don't know exactly what they're into, but they want to get control of my live stream, and I just can't let that continue. They don't care who they hurt, who they injure. Want to turn my whole planet against us. It's simple, you join the resistance, or you wind up going against us. And the name.
Yeah, it's the Final Fantasy VII music, because Avalanche. Yes, Talus are like, oh, that is what's going on.
Wish this world wasn't mine. Get worse if we allow it. I head with a cannon for an arm and a mind with none but revenge inside it. And I represent Avalanche. Man, them chumps don't have a chance. Watch them scatter, man, whenever Barrett's land those battle plans. My people beside me, team for behind me with a bit of voice of reason. It's Biggs and Wedge and Jesse. Anybody in my way, we squeezing. You're behind me, I'm leaving, but bombing the region. It's gotta be the highest treason. We can't do farther back now, and I'm not leaving till we even. We get to whoever wants you can get equipped. The president of Shinra's throwing fits. So yo, let me see your fists like this. Hey, hey, not a bit nervous. Encouraged, got a bit further to go. Any means, getting rid of my enemies. A-V-A-L-A-N-C-H-E, that's who we be. Insurgents, not a bit nervous. No lip service, got a bit further to go. Do what I gotta care. Who want that problem? A-V-A-L-A-N-C-H-E, yeah, that's who we be. A-R-R-E-1-T, they gon' have to come get me if they want me. I don't bend, I don't break, don't care about much. This is my daughter Marlene, my people's being free. You gotta understand, son, I don't have the answer. I just keep the faith, and I always keep a handgun. Nope, I mean that literally, cause I got a handgun. I call this a gun arm, so I'm never unarmed. Get it? A little Final Fantasy humor for you gamers out there. Hope you're having a good time.
I am.
Yeah.
That was a great little bit of Final Fantasy humor right there. Thank you, sir.
I couldn't physically be there with you at Summer Game Fest. This is about the next best thing, I gotta say. So, oh yeah, I used to be a teacher, so I want to shout out all the teachers and educators and people who keep creating out there. Just keep on working and making amazing things happen, because you are the future of the entertainment industry. So keep gaming, keep playing, keep creating, keep building new worlds so we can keep on enjoying them. All right, y'all.
Am I correct that Clive from Final Fantasy is the voice actor of Dorian from Date Everything? I have no idea. I didn't... If I met Dorian in the Gamescom demo, I did not pay enough attention. Because that's what, Ben Starr? I think is Clive? Ah, well, back to the trailers. Wiki says it's Ben Starr. Okay, cool, yes. Yeah, I played the Date Everything demo back in August last year. On a very loud, crowded game show floor. I do not remember voice actor voices very well a year later. Ooh, I like this creature design. Oh, don't make a deal with that thing. That seems bad.
For centuries, monks and guardians have protected these lands together.
The environment design is lovely, as is the voice acting.
The forest is unquiet.
This was my home.
Sorry,
Those eyes, I have seen that fire before.
You're just a coward.
I didn't ask for this.
Nice
We're
cutscene
not
direction.
backing down.
Come.
Nice creature design.
Let us finish this.
No, don't touch the crow. Nice big grand scale boss fight design.
He's gonna regret getting in our way.
You do not understand!
What is this called?
I only wanted to see her again.
Althea, the Wrath of a Fairy. Oh, was not expecting first person from the start of this. I love this art style. This looks gorgeous. might be a little too chaotic, fast-paced first person for my motion sickness. But I love how it is using bright, vibrant 2D assets in a 3D space. Shadows of the Chroma Tower. Sure is chroma in some shadow. Okay, craft all your little magic things to hand over. Okay, this is very overcooked. Magical fantasy overcooked. Cute pixel art. Character design's very nice. I am the wizard cat. I'll whip up the perfect spell. There we go. Wizard cat. I knew there was a wizard cat pun there somewhere. It's mixing up the perfect spell. Done. Cool. I found the pun. Witching mama. This is Naomi. She spends a lot of time rollerblading to music. Oh, alone. In her feelings. Oh no, I'm a teenager. But this summer is different. She talks to people. On a journey to fix her car, she's gonna have to talk to people. Oh no, the horror. The terror. I say very genuinely. Roller Girl. The name is good, it's to the point. I appreciate that. Oh,
What
is this...
fun about an abandoned warehouse, Trev?
That's right, you got nothing to prove, sis. No matter what they say.
Okay.
Is this... I was gonna say, is this relooted? Is this relooted? I was like, I don't want to assume, but this is very similar parkour mechanics.
Stolen. Who's stealing them?
Us.
Yeah, this is the one from Day of the Devs that I said had a really good trailer in terms of explaining its own mechanics. This is my favorite thing out of Day of the Devs.
Smart, agile, and will let you look into places with the tightest security.
Yeah, you gotta plan the heist, do all the setup, steal the thing, and then like do your escape run all in one like very smooth escape. It's very pre-plan your flow state.
Just hoping you won't get me killed.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes, I love the character designs as well in the cutscenes. Very, very well face animated. I always appreciate an indie project that doesn't skimp on the face animations for cutscenes.
And gets away with it. So we are going to do what
It's not stealing if it was already stolen from its people. Well, yes,
We're
correct.
going to do it together.
It's repatriation. Reclamation, yes. Oh, the lighting on the skin is really nice as well. The character models are so well lit.
Wow, that performance from Mega Ran was great. Now, he's a phenomenal performer as always, so definitely check out his music if you haven't. And also, it was great seeing another selection of games to look forward to. But with that said, we've got just enough time left to show you a jam-packed selection of titles, so definitely stick around
Ooh.
and check out what's next. Here it is.
Okay, we might be wrapping up sooner than... Mega Ran implied it, we were at the halfway point, so I was like, ooh. Yeah. Okay, Sizzle Reel. Okay. Yeah, if we're closer to the end, that's better for my schedule because I gotta do the washing up. I gotta have dinner. Gotta have a bath. Gotta be ready for a meeting, like 3 hours from now. Ooh, Yasuke the Lost Descendant. Yes, this is the one that I had. Oh, TMNT Tactical Takedown. We talked about that at the start of the stream. Okay, we're talking about all the Strange Scaffold games, of course we are, yeah. Yasuke. Lost Descendant. Oh, that's got a demo. Yeah, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game is by the person behind Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3. Oh, we wishlisted this already. This song is good as well, you're correct. Look at Limbo. Ooh. Oh, this is really scratching a, like, 2006 emo pop punk scratch for me. Like, this is very... Like, this could have been a, this could have been one of the slightly more somber Bowling for Soup songs, or a Sum 41. Like, this is a band when I was 17 I would have gone and seen live, and that I would kind of do today. Oh. Oh. I need to know who this song is. I need to identify that track.
Wow. What a show.
Yeah, if anyone knows the name of that track, let me know. I wanna add that to my rotation
today.
Listen, I'm loving the content and I'm loving your commentary. Like, it is keeping me going. I don't drink coffee, but you've got me hyped. And honestly, I am super excited that we were able to, like, pull this off.
Breezy
It's always
Supreme.
a big, like, production when we're, like, talking to developers, getting everything in, but everybody, like, did an incredible job. We had
Okay,
some
Breezy
very
Supreme.
good
I
interviews
will
there.
I will give
mean,
them a
Compulsion
look.
Games coming through.
Thank
They're
you.
focusing on Black culture and Black stories. Like, what more can you ask for? Obviously, we want more of that, but you know what I mean? Like, that's incredible. But what else?
Wonderful.
I mean, we had developers.
1-800 pay us. Thank you.
Oh, right. Like, we got a musical guest. Not only that, but Megaran. You know, getting to be a part of the show was really incredible. So there's so much to be hyped about. It's always a privilege to be able to celebrate the achievements of Black developers and see what it is that they're cooking up on the showcase. And again, for Summer Games Fest. And so, you know, getting to put that out there into the world is really exciting. And I get to do it with cool people.
I mean, like, the coolest. I'm not just dusting my shoulders off, but listen, before we close out, let's just take a second to recognize why this all matters, right? Representation in gaming isn't just important, it's powerful. Every time we spotlight the success of a Black creative, no matter the scale, we're pushing the industry forward. These moments of recognition do more than just celebrate wins. They open doors. They remind people that there's room for them here, that they belong. I don't know. I was about to get emotional because I think for me, I'm always screaming and shouting about, like, just keep trying because you belong here. And we have these amazing stories that we continue to tell and that are so beautiful. And I'm just glad that, hey, this is our first time at Summer Games Fest in this capacity, and they're recognizing the beautiful and amazing work we do. And so, like, let's just keep up the good work, everybody.
Is this the first year this has been officially part of Summer Games Fest?
Playing it, changing it.
Said excellently.
In my head, this has been a part of Summer Games Fest for several years now. But I'm guessing that this is like the AA showcase. That
hope to see you again.
just happens proximate to Summer Games Fest enough that it's
is our
mentally
show, baby.
associated.
Thanks, Derek and Destiny. You guys are amazing. Check out Dames for Games, which has a showcase popping off real soon. Make sure to check out Experience Studios in order to help developers get their games funded and support underrepresented.
Okay, I'm guessing
game
this is us
development.
wrapping up.
Follow all the shenanigans
Okay,
of
yeah.
Black Voices in Gaming on Blue Sky and across all
Well,
the social media platforms
yeah,
that pop up right here.
Black Voices in Gaming
Shout
has
out
done a
to
very
all the
good job of
developers who
making
jumped
me
in to
mentally
share
file
their
it as a Summer
games
Games Fest
and their
showcase.
babies.
I assumed
Huge
it was a
thanks
Keeley
and a
sponsored
big dap
previously.
To our sponsors, PlayStation.
Well
Humble
done,
Bundle,
Keeley, for
and
finally
Raw
getting on
Fury,
this.
who've all given their support from the very start. Also, The Mix, Razer, and Summer Game Fest. Thanks to our broadcast partners for this showcase.
Maybe I'll
Summer
convince
Game
Keeley to
Fest,
pick my
Twitch,
showcase
iGame,
up someday.
GameSpot,
We'll
and
see.
Steam. Extending the reach is definitely helpful. We owe them a debt of gratitude as well.
Yeah, being on Steam
Thanks
this year really helped
to
AA.
all you guys for showing up and showing out. And for all
Hooray!
the
There we
love.
go. I think we're
We
wrapping.
will talk to you soon.
Um,
I'm Justin Woodward,
Lovely.
co-founder.
Well, that seems like this is it for Black Voices in Gaming for today. Some really, really cool games in here. Glad we tuned in. I believe the next showcase we've got coming up is Thursday afternoon. There is Konami is doing Metal Gear Solid 3 and Silent Hill If. They're doing a showcase for those. I'm going to try and come on an hour early and watch the Frosty Game Showcase, which is the Australia and New Zealand one that I skipped over. Thank you so much, everyone who came along and checked this out. I should be back tonight at, I'm going to say 10 p.m. UK, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Starting to stream through Yakuza 0. We've got the English dub, has just come out on Switch 2. I'm going to be streaming that for the foreseeable future. And there's rumors we're getting a Nintendo Direct either this week or next week, maybe, question mark. We'll see. Nintendo tends to announce those like 24 hours in advance at most. Thank you very much, everyone. I will be back in a few hours with some Yakuza, is the plan. I gotta go do my housework for a bit, but I'll